appreciate you giving us so much time. And is there anything else that you want to say to the people? Anything that's on your heart that you want to say to the people that are watching it in closing?
Well, this is probably the only country ever established on the laws of nature and nature's God. And people don't understand what that means. They think it means that it's frivolous words or something. Those were legal terms under John Locke and William Blackstone. The laws of nature and nature's God. Not only were we able to declare our independence because of the laws of nature and nature's God, but James Madison, the chief architect of the Constitution, said that we were entitled to have a Constitution because of the laws of nature and nature's God. I think he said that in Federalist 43. And those had a very specific meaning. That means that God's law is a higher law. And we historically, the chief architect of the Constitution recognized it. Thomas Jefferson, who wrote the Declaration of Independence, recognized it. And we should recognize, too, that the Declaration, for example, which recognizes that God gives rights and government's role is to secure those rights for us, is law. Now, many lawyers and judges, oh, I just made a mistake. That's not law. Well, if you go to the United States Code and you look up organic laws, you'll find the Constitution of the United States. And you'll find before that the Declaration of Independence. It is part of our organic law. And I don't care who wants to cross me on that. You can go to the United States Code and turn to the page and find it. And so we should regard these things more seriously, because if God gives rights and government's role is to secure those rights, when government dismisses God out of the equation and pretends to get rights, we suffer accordingly. And that's what we're facing in our country, whether it be with abortion, same-sex marriage, or anything else. If government pretends to give rights, it'll always take one away.
Well, you referenced, and forgive me for this addendum, but you referenced the phrase in the Declaration that says that governments exist to protect the rights that
secure
are God-given.
the rights God gave us.
Right. And when a government becomes injurious or becomes a threat to those rights, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish.
And to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Are we headed there?
Well, I think that's where we were in 1776.
Are we
and if
there
government
now?
is not securing the rights God gave us, which obviously when you take marriage and it's an institution ordained of God, they're taking it and redefining it, that's not really securing it, is it?
No. So is it our duty to alter, to abolish? That's the issue. It's frightening.
Prudence indeed will dictate. The government's long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly our experience has shown. Mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable than the right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such governments to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrained them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpation, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world.
If we were to take out the King of Britain and
if you
insert the
place
Supreme
United
Court
States
there,
Supreme Court, it seems fitting, doesn't it?
it does.
Okay.
Long life to you.
Well, thank you, sir.
Friend, I put the question to you. 50 years from now, what will our children and our grandchildren, maybe our great-grandchildren, what will they be saying about us? About what we did, how we fought, or about what we didn't do and how we surrendered? Please fight like the survival of this nation depends upon your actions. You see what's on the screen below you. If you want to learn more, if you want to help us, go to our website. But for the love of God and the love of truth, fight against this monstrous evil.